Hello. This is one more time that I am doing this intuitive healing meditation for the helper of the world, the helper that helps other people. And it's a sacred day. I just realized it because I sat down to start to connect. So doing the pre-work before I do the meditation. And there was this sacred feeling about it. And then I realized, well, it's the day where Christ arose. I don't know what's it called in the Christian, in the English version. So I'll just try and see what comes. Perhaps it's again a different one, but I'll dive into it. So close your eyes and follow. Oh, I'm not going to turn it off. Follow the words, follow the voice, the energy. I close my eyes and then I do the meditation. I see, well, there is, for a start, there is this sacred feeling. So it's like there is angels' voices singing in the air while everything is still, everything is silence, but there is a angel singing in the air. We cannot hear it with our physical ears, we can just sense it. Holy Spirit. And I see a lot of people, persons spread around the world, sitting with a good distance between them so they don't need to be together. They are all meditating. Everybody sitting like in a spider's web. Everybody's connected. With invisible strings between them and with the silent angel voices singing in the air that we can sense but not hear. So it's like we have a full room around the world with people and with energy. And being connected like this, we can rise, we can sing, we can dance in joy. And it's like we're moving around and we are feeling the space around us. It's thick of energy. And when one person moves, it has an effect on the others around in all the web. And everybody here is aware of that. So that means that you get to follow the movements, not only your own movements, but also the movements of the others. So it's like waves in the spider's web that you have to follow, because if you try to go against it, the strings will be too tight. And the energy cannot flow right. Or it will be too loose if you don't follow. If you do something that makes the energy weaker, because there's too much slack on the line, that's not good either. There must be just the right slack in the line, the right I don't know the word. So it's like for every person there is two. There is the person moving and there is the person in meditation. And they are one. Because having a connection to the meditation makes it possible for you to recognize deeply the movements that you are a part of. So even though one part of you moves and dances and works and does a lot of things in the world, the meditation part of you keeps always the balance and the sensing of what's the natural next thing to do. That makes a natural flow of things. That makes a natural sensing of the world around you and the spider's web that you are a part of. And that is beautiful. And then I see that there are some people that are not connected to this web, and they kind of like an elephant in a glass store. we say in Danish, I don't know. But they come in and they just fall and slip and clashes around. They cannot keep the balance. So they need to be aware that there is something they must do. They must go into meditation, and then they must find their place in the spider's web, and then they connect. They make, while being in meditation, they make the strings attached to the others, and then they are in the web. It just takes a little work to get there, but it's worth it, because not being in the web is kind of exhausting and hurting. And at first that can feel like a prison or like a pressure. Why do I need to do this? I don't want to stand still and being in meditation. Why? That's not nice. I need to run and move, and they can do that. They can run and they can move, but they fall and slip a lot, and it's not that fun. So they kind of give up. Okay. You say I need to be in meditation. I can try and do that, but I can rise and I can run whenever I like, and it's fine, you can do that. It's just not that fun. And so they go in meditation and they find out eventually that they can rise and they can kind of run, but it's not the running that they are used to. It's like a running in the dance, a running in the web, a running in a connection with the others. So whenever they like to run, they run, and they can feel where to run, how fast to run, whenever to stop and rearrange something. It's a part of another story. And that makes a grand difference, because before they were just alone, dedicated to one thing, their own thing. But now, because they have a connection to the meditation state always, they can be open to feeling or sensing what's around. And it makes more full picture of their own desire, because their own desire is still there, but it's getting integrated with all the other needs, all the other projects, all the other persons and energies around them. And it makes them realize that it's much more fulfilling being able to fill a void or fill a room in a wholeness with other people. It's much more fun to be a part of the spider's web And then the goal is still a goal, but it's also something different because it's part of the web. It's not a goal solely for you, it's a goal for everybody involved. And I see now that this spider's web, it's filled with pleasure and gold and presence and everything. So much I don't know the words in English. But there's so many presents and values and things, stuff, emotions, love, everything, all you could ever dream of. And it's just created and then put in the web. And everybody can come and take it, but they never take it away. They take of it and also leave something. So there can be this grand in exchange. Nothing leaves the web. Everything is always there. So there's not this great need for achieving one thing for oneself. There's a balance in creating and receiving. Because everything is a vibrant exchange. And the persons involved are so fine that more comes in, because it just makes the overflow even better. And it is kind of annoying when someone comes in that is not part of the web yet, that hasn't learned the meditation state. It's kind of annoying because it makes noise and scramble things up. But the only thing to do is just to keep on being in the meditation state as a part of your thing. Because it's the meditation state that creates the waves of harmony that the new ones get to realize as time goes on. And the deeper that you realize it, the more you can help creating the harmony in the web. And that is a joyful thing to do. And it's not a prison, not at all. You can always leave, but learning from this experience is fulfilling. And actually, when you leave, you are still part of this, and something in you always is connected in the meditative state. You are still part of this. Even if you don't realize it. And I see now that whenever there is an interruption in the web because someone new is turning in and have not been learning it yet, it's not an effort to keep the balance, because when you are in this meditative state, you just are, and you just take the wrinkles, you just take the waves whenever they come, and it's a dynamic. It moves you, but it doesn't affect your meditation. Well, it does affect your meditation in one way, but but not in the deeper sense. You recognize everything around you, whatever it is, and you just move around it or with it. You move with it while being in the meditative state all the time. In this way you can be in the world and act in the world and do whatever you need to in the world and always be in contact or be with the meditative state. That is beautiful. Then you don't have to go out to meditate, then you are meditate. You are the meditation. It's part of your being. And it just makes the movement in the outer world graceful. That is the difference. It's not gracious when you come into this and don't know what to do. But then when you get it, when you get into the meditation and when you realize that you can still be moving around in the physical world while being in the meditative state and being in the physical state at the same time, then there comes grace. And that makes sense for some of us. So now again I hear the angel voices singing, not to hear for the physical ear, but to sense. It's all around. We just need to be grace. Then we can sing with the angels. Thank you, Christ. I just see him shining his light upon all of us. And we are being one with him. I'm not a Christian like this. It's like just this energy. I'm not even sure if it's him, but in our calendar, in the Christian calendar, is the day when Christ is rising. And I see that here. And I see that it's another level now, because we have been doing the job ourselves. So we can now be consciously aware of his rising. 2000 years ago, not so many people were conscious. Well, perhaps they were. I don't know. The thing is, we are now. And time doesn't matter. This is an eternal thing we are doing here. And it's like the music rising. It's like there's a big evolvement or expansion. Being aware of this spider's web, where you can be physical acting and also in meditation at the same time, creating joy and bliss and harmony, being graceful, having the air filled around you with beauty, not seen for the eye but sensed, and having a connection between us and also up with the higher dimensions, here symbolized by the Christ consciousness, great love and light, shining and connecting. We are one. We are one. We are both. From here it's effortless. And I see that this energy is floating around the world. And I'm just curious, what is it? How is the connection to the world, the physical earth? And I see kind of a reflection in the earth from what we are doing on the outside, or what we are on the outside of the earth. There's a reflection on the inside, in the soil of the earth, in the energy of the inner earth. And it is like there are, this gets kind of spacey, I'm sorry, but I just put words to what I see. It is like there is an inner world of energy, and perhaps even individual energies like us, creating a system with a spider's web also, but another geometry in it. There's another geometry in it, and it's perfect in alignment with ours on the outer side of the world. And it goes deeply into the world, it goes into the center of the world. There is a string connected, the energy connected from the inside of the earth, from the center of the earth, and just outside through everything, and up throughout us, and out into outer space, where there is a ring of greater energy that collecting the energies and putting it out to the universe like laser beams. And there is even a greater connection to all the other cosmic beings. So it's very clear in this grand picture that we are just one cell. Each body is just one cell in this light body. And being aware of the connectedness, being aware that we are able to move physically, and also being in contact with this spider's web. That is just beautiful. So we need to be in alignment with ourselves, in our little cell of this big body. We need to be in alignment in our own physical body, because when we are that, we are a much greater being in this light body. Then we can help better with the alignment of the world and the universe, the earth and the universe. So we are not only helping ourselves, being in alignment with ourselves, we are also helping galactically. And I see entities around us saying, yes, good job, this is right, this is your thing to do. Physical people need to align to be of assistance of a higher purpose, of love and of light. So it's not just our little world. Well, it is also our little physical world. It is our little physical world that's what we can do. And it's all we need to know, because the other stuff takes care of itself with somebody else bigger than us. So they say thank you. It's good to know these greater pictures, but it's not important in your daily life. You need to be aware of your daily life. That's your part of the journey. And it's a great place to be here, being in alignment with oneself, with all the others in the web, and also with the grander web from the inner earth to the outer universe. And clearly we are not alone. And like everybody else, we need to do our part. If the cells in the lungs aren't working, then it affects the whole body. If the cells in the bones aren't working, it affects the whole body. We need to be the cells we need to be, wherever we are in this body. If we are in the kidney or in the tongue or in the brain, we just need to do what we need to do. So everybody in the spider's web, find your little place, find your little space to navigate in, and make it a good space. Make it in a space in alignment with your body, with your feelings, with your thoughts, and with the bigger picture. It's not difficult when when you realize what it's all about. Having the flow. I need to just stop it here. Although it's like everybody in the web now with consciousness touches one another, even though we are far apart. In the web, consciously thanking each other, recognizing each other. We are strong together, we are gracious together, and we need to do what we need to do, and that is what we will do. Feet on the ground. So, this was the meditation for today. It was a crazy different one. And it's deep. I cannot even open my eyes yet. So please, if you have listened all the way through, take your time to feel your physical body. If you are affected as I am, to take your time to move your physical body. Make the ground or feel the ground underneath you, the floor, the chair. Touch your body. Yeah. And be aware of the surroundings you are in. Yeah. This was crazy, but it was so beautiful. Please know that it's not difficult. You don't have any other obligations than your own little environment, starting with yourself, needing to know your body, needing to know your feelings, needing to know your thoughts, and learning eventually how to have the flow going. Oh, yes. I couldn't help it. This was what came through, so I had to put words to it. We are all helping one another. We are all helping one another. Have a nice day.